What's going on, my people? It's a beautiful day. Beautiful, bright, sunny day in London here. In West London, it's beautiful, it's sunny, it's bright. Chelsea are the kings of Europe. Europe is blue. Forget London is blue. We always knew London was blue. England is blue and Europe is blue. Chelsea are European champions, kings of Europe. But that's not why I'm making that video. Let that sink in. I'm still on cloud nine like the rest of us. We're all elated, we're all buzzing after that emphatic victory against Man City. First time in 9 years. Thomas Tuchel, you legend, you are a hero. Every single one of those players on that pitch are legends. But today I'm making this video, why? Because I've got some transfer news to break to you guys. There's some brand new news in regards to Thomas Tuchel's contract extension. We'll be discussing Adama, Traore, Lukaku and Declan Rice links, and we'll be discussing transfer targets for what's coming this summer and what's next for Chelsea. What is next? Are we going to be gunning for that Premier League title? Are we going to be hunting down Man City from the get-go from day one next season? We'll be discussing all of that in this video. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. And as I said, we cannot continue into transfer news without discussing a little bit more about Saturday evening. Because let's be serious, probably my last time I'll be discussing the European. We need to understand that, the season's ended. Of course, now our summers are made. Our summers are going to be beautiful now because we're European champions, of course. But we need to look forward now because we've got targets to look at. We've got transfer news to look at. We need to look at ways to bolster the squad. And it's all well and good doing in cup competitions. But if you want to be a real champion, you've got to do it in the Premier League because you have to build that consistency. And listen, they're all legends. I love every single one of them. They made our summers. They made our nights. We had one of the best nights the other night. But if they want to do it on a consistent basis, you need top quality players. You need to be putting that performance in, week out. And that's what makes you champions, that consistency on a 38 game basis. So, we need to improve our depth, of course. Thomas Tuchel's on the verge of signing a brand new extension, which is fantastic news. I said before, I was a massive advocate for Thomas Tuchel, even during a time when Frank Lampard was there. I said, listen, it's not working out of Lampard. There's no style. There's a lack of identity. The players are split. We're losing left, right and centre. We're getting embarrassed each week. We need a world-class coaching. And there you go. Thomas Tuchel is a world-class coach. And listen, whoever Thomas Tuchel wants this summer, bring him in. Yeah? We are 4 months into our project. And we've already won a Champions League. Pep, 5 years into his project. And he still hasn't won a Champions League. There's levels. It's in our DNA. As Drogba said, it's our legacy. It's in our DNA to win Champions Leagues. We don't bottle things. We win things. Whether that's a Champions League, Europa League, FA Cup, Premier League, League Cup, Community Shield, you name it, we are serial winners. And don't you think I forgot about this as well? Now that we've won the Champions League and we are the kings of Europe, we're coming for that Super League and we're coming for that Club World Cup. Don't you think I forgot about that? Villarreal, we're coming for your asses, and Club World Cup, we better win that. Because we've bottled 4 Super Cups now. We bottled the Atletico Madrid, we got battered 4-1. We then lost to Bayern on penalties, and then we lost to Liverpool on penalties beginning of last season. Don't you think I forgot about that, We haven't seen Chelsea win a Super Cup, especially on the Roman. So go out there, win that Super Cup. I know Villarreal are quite an easy opponent. You can't underestimate that, but you haven't got a better chance. Go and win that Super Cup. In regards to the Club World Cup, we lost to Corinthians back in 2013. Don't allow that to happen again. Go out there, win that Super Cup. And listen, it's a perfect opportunity to stat pad on some trophies. Thomas Tuchel stat pads. A bit of FA Cup here and there, a bit of Carabao Cup, Club World Cup, Super Cup, just stat pads. It's all good. Add to your collection. You love to see that. But in terms of transfer news, Fabrizio Romano, none other than the King Fabrizio Romano, has confirmed that Thomas Tuchel will meet with the Chelsea board in the next days to sign a brand new contract until 2023, plus an option to extend a further year. So essentially, an initial 2-year contract with the option to extend a further year. He's already planning for new signings together with the club. Massive news. Don't forget, when he first signed, he signed on an 18-month basis. It was a short-term basis. Now, in terms of targets, Matt Law released an article yesterday evening. Late last night, he released an article and he mentioned 3 names in the article that Thomas Tuchel would like. Now, what he's saying in the article is that Adama Traore is one of these targets. Apparently, Adama Traore has emerged as a surprise target for Thomas Tuchel. Romelu Lukaku's agent was also in Porto last night, and Declan Rice remains a Tuchel target. Thomas Tuchel's potential targets for this summer is as follows: Lukaku, Rice, Schüller, Boateng, Weigl, Tuchel, and also Harry Kane is a potential target. Now, in regards to Adama Traore, Thomas Tuchel has named a 6-player wish list. Those include Adama Traore, Jonas Hoffman, Declan Rice, Tuchel, Lukaku, and of course Harry Kane. As I said, not much in news or some credibility behind the Adama Traore news. Now, if you think on a logical basis, why would Tuchel want Adama Traore? What Matt Law is stating in this article is that this is more driven by Tuchel. Adama Traore, for me, doesn't make much sense, because Matt Law released an article a few weeks ago and he said that Chelsea want to implement, especially Tuchel, he wants to implement into and change into a 4-2-4 formation, or at least a 4-at-the-back formation. Now, if you're signing Adama Traore in a 3-at-the-back, maybe because he could play right wing back where he's got the pace, the agility, the power, the dribbling ability. He's one of the best dribblers in the Premier League, arguably the best dribbler. Very bad at end product. He's got no end product. He can't finish, and of course, he's got a lot of his areas he needs to improve on. But with his pace, power, agility, his physicality to bully defenders, right wing back could suit Adama Traore. But what's contradicting to me is, why would he be a Tuchel target when Tuchel wants to switch to 4-at-the-back formation? You can't stick Adama at right back. He's not a naturally gifted defender. He's going to lose a lot of 1v1 duels defensively. Yes, he's got the physicality, but he's not a natural defender. And so a lot of teams will target down our right-hand side if we stick Adama Traore at right back. He's not a natural defender. And therefore, that means if you're switching to a 4-at-the-back, that's implying that you're going to be using him as a 4th, 5th choice winger to play at right wing. And for me, I don't think he's good enough. He's not got the technical ability in terms of close control, the end product, which is missing. We have a tendency right now where we're not finishing our chances. Yeah, we're not scoring enough goals. And you're bringing in another player with no end product. For me, it doesn't make any logical sense. But at the end of the day, if Thomas Tuchel wants to play, you go out and get him. I don't care. If it's Adama Traore, if it's Ashley Barnes, Peter Crouch, listen, you name it, yeah. I couldn't care less. Yeah, Thomas Tuchel has made us champions of Europe. At the end of the day, if he wants him badly and he's their first choice, go and get him. Because then he's got no excuse to fail. Yeah, you're getting all these targets. And listen, if we sign Adama and win the Prem, no one's going to say a word. No one's going to care. So at the end of the day, of course, if this is true, we don't know how much reliability because it's only by one journalist. Yes, a very reliable journalist, but it's only one journalist. In terms of Rice and Lukaku, that's not new news. I've spoken about this on this channel for the past few days and the past few weeks. Lukaku. Now, the thing with Lukaku is that Inter Milan are standing very firm. They're standing very firm on the Lukaku stance. They're adamant they don't want to let go of Lukaku. Of course, he's their best player, he's their top goal scorer, he's just guided them to a Scudetto. Very understandable. However, with their financial difficulties, with Antonio Conte leaving, Lukaku had a fantastic relationship with Conte. He might be disillusioned. Of course, Chelsea, boyhood fan. He's just seen Chelsea lift the Champions League. If Thomas Tuchel wants him. At the end of the day, yes, they've got a new manager, Inzaghi. Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed that Inzaghi is desperate to keep Lukaku. He's already made a phone call to Lukaku to tell him and explain about his plans. And if Lukaku decides to stay at Inter, then Chelsea won't sign him because Inter Milan don't want to sign Lukaku. They'd rather raise funds elsewhere and raise it elsewhere. Understandable, of course. However, if Lukaku wants to leave Inter Milan, there is nothing Inter can really do. If Lukaku pushes for a move, Inter will have to just take the cash and move. Simple as that. In terms of Rice, we know the situation. He's West Ham's best player. West Ham have just got into the Europa League. They've got the extra revenue from Europe. They're not as desperate to sell Declan Rice anymore. And if they know Declan Rice is their most prized asset, they're going to try and raise revenue and finances from other positions and other areas of squad. So not necessarily from Declan Rice if need be. And if they're going to sell Declan Rice, they're going to command around 80, 90 million pounds, which for me, he's nowhere near worth that. Good player, don't get me wrong. I don't think he fits a system, but also he's not worth 80 million pounds. We've got a Jorginho who's much better. We've got a Kovacic. We've already got a world-class midfield. For me, we just need more depth. We don't need to replace these guys. So for me, 80 million pounds is absolutely extortionate. It's not necessary. It's not needed. And I don't think that Chelsea would be going for Declan Rice because he doesn't, for me, he doesn't fit the system. His ball progression metrics is nowhere near good enough. He plays in a team that sit in a low block, so he's defending a lot of the time. But when it comes to manoeuvring of the ball progression, look at the stats for yourself. Go and look at the metrics. It's nowhere near as good as a Jorginho. So for me, it's an area of his game where he needs to improve. And I think that for 80 million pounds, he should be signing a completed player, a finished article of a player. And for me, Declan Rice is nowhere near the finished article. Not his fault because he's young. But what I'm saying is if you're spending 80 million pounds, that's implying that you're spending that on a finished article, and he's not some generational talent like Kai Havertz, where it's understandable to spend that amount of money. There's so many players that arrive at the same level of Declan Rice, or even better. So, that 80 million pound price tag is simply not justified in my personal opinion. But again, each to their own. What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But so far, the 3 targets that Matt Law reported are as follows: Adama Traore, Romelu Lukaku, and Declan Rice, of course. We don't know the credibility too much. Again, next few weeks and days, we're going to find out more information. We'll look at new targets. I'm sure there'll be new targets. Tuchel's going to sit down with the Chelsea hierarchy to discuss transfer targets. Of course, any latest news, anything on Chelsea, you'll hear it first on this channel. But if you did enjoy it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.